Hello, friends, and welcome into Boy Discount Walter White, bringing you the Blue Skies Mix. I'll flatline for a second because I'm trying to make sure I remember the goddamn topic that I want to talk about in this video. So, let's talk about dreams. Yeah? By the way, welcome to the Conspiracy Corner. Because why not? This is going to be, this will be a regular TBSM, just with the added benefit of discussing some mild conspiracy action as well as dreams that I've had and the I guess nature of dreams when it comes to people dreaming about events that haven't happened yet and then they come to fruition. They happen. So we're going to talk about that, because I've been able to accurately predict whole ass events in my life before. I've also had dreams about everywhere that I've worked that's been remotely significant to me. And on top of all that, okay, no one's coming. Cool. I enjoyed interpreting people's dreams. I think it's fun. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to discuss dreams that I've had, as well as I'm going to predict what's going to happen based on these dreams that I've had a very long time ago. And we'll see if I'm accurate or not. We'll see over time. I hope that I'm not. I really fucking hope that I'm not. But I promise you nothing. You need me to be wrong, okay? You really, really do. And it's something to where if I'm not, you'll definitely fucking know. Well, you'll be too caught up in the mix, but you'll know. And I'm gonna have one of those really sorrowful, I fucking told you so moments. I'm not gonna be happy about it. So let's get into it. Let me put my fucking music back, because I want some Blues Traveler. It's good for you. Very tasty music. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the prediction, and then I'm going to tell you why it is that I think the way that I do. I predict that the president, or the puppet in office at the moment, his strings will be severed when he's reached the end of his life. That he will pass away as president. He won't make it, not full term. And if he does make it full term, he won't make it 2 terms. In a desperate act of defiance in terms of towards the people, the election will again be handled as it was previously. And it will be done haphazardly and more blatantly, in an undeniable kind of way. And I want you to pay special attention to that, David, because you're going to be really pissed about that. The election will be handled like a hot fucking mess, like the hot fucking mess that it is. And from there, people will begin to push back a bit. People will begin to awaken. And that ain't it. Now, give me a second. I gotta do something. Alright. Back to it. I had to do something real quick. So. Alright. So, he won't make it through his presidency. Or his puppetry, however you want to look at it. He won't make it through the marionette dance. And that's by design. Let's see. She will take power. You can pick. Because if it ain't the VP, the vice puppet, it'll be the one that lost in 2016. Either way, she will have power. We will have the first female puppet. And this kerfuffle with Russia will increase in intensity. America will go to war on behalf of Ukraine. If not Ukraine, then another foreign power that we are allied with in one way or another, because the world will be looking for a fight, and we will be there to fight it. The United Nations will be mobilized, especially German forces, and I'd say the French as well. They will be mobilized, and they will be utilized on the eastern seaboard of America. The conflict with Russia will also be, I'm going to say, exacerbated by China. China will start to do propaganda and all that shit. The West Coast will will reduce itself to American versus foreigner. It'll be Americans fighting Americans, and a foreign power will back whichever side it prefers, and do whatever it can to sow seeds of disruption in America. America will fall apart at the center. That will be the dividing line, east versus west. The center will not be able to hold. The heartland of America will be one of the most important sections of this whole fucking conflict. The major population centers will suddenly, let's say, escape. They will retreat to the heartland of America. And the tenuous power being held by the United States government will become even more so fragile than it was before. Things will fall apart. The center will not hold. And there will be nothing that we can do about that. Because again, it is by design. This goddamn bag, cheap ass Amazon product. Anyway, the center will fail. Our power structure as a nation will fucking falter. Things will need to be rebuilt. People will need to be, well, they'll be awoken plenty before this happens. The conflict in our nation will only get worse. But it has to do so before it can get better. And we will see what happens after that. I'll be right back. Welcome back. So, like I said, center can't hold, conflict, America divided. And assuming that this comes to pass, the UN will be utilized in places like my city, and we will be rounded up. They will put tracking chips in us. They will do so enthusiastically. I'm willing to predict almost down to the day when it'll happen. Almost. I know that it'll be during a major event, a celebratory season, so to speak. Probably in July or, let's see, either in July or, I don't know, it's either mid-year or beginning of fall, whenever it's not going to be the best time for it. The nature of the beast is to catch us sleeping. So I'd say probably around, it'd be poetic and it would fit their symbolism to do so on July 4th. Whenever we're at our most patriotic, do what you can to break us. You break the spirit of America, so to speak. It would be a dumb decision, but it would be either beginning of the year or middle of the year. That's the only ways that would make sense. That light is fucking bright coming off that truck. Let's see. What else? What was the rest of it? Where was I at? Sowing seeds of disruption. I've had to break this up, obviously. But seeds of disruption. Supply lines will be so dwindled that there will barely be any food on the shelves. In places where there wasn't already that situation before, it will get worse. There won't be enough food. There'll be just enough to barely survive, but not enough to stockpile. Even supply lines of places that like to say that they'll have, oh, you can get this shelf life, 25-year shelf life food stockpile, like the ones that sponsor YouTubers like Jericho Green and all them. I'm not saying don't buy that stuff. I'm saying go ahead, buy it, but just know that even then, they will run short. Orders won't make it. This person in front of me is swerving, wonderful. But things won't make it that need to make it. And in some places it'll be too late. It won't be enough. People will go hungry. And they'll start to break laws, obviously. Because whenever you're hungry, you do what it takes. No questions asked. The government will fight back. Or the military, I should say, will fight back. The government will fail in leadership. There will be potential for a military coup. I don't want to say yay or nay on it yet. Nothing's set in stone. We can't be too sure, not yet. Not yet. Still too early. But what will be, will be. Now, why do I say this stuff? Because I've dreamt about it. And the dreams didn't leave my memory. I still remember in detail. It's concerning. But I'm also not trying to sow seeds of discord or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that. But I do want you to begin to pay attention. You need to wake up sooner than planned. You need to wake up ahead of schedule and under budget because we are out of the fucking budget. You need to wake up a little bit more. Will this get any kind of traction? I doubt it. But will it help? Yes, it will. But I can give you a detailed telling of my dreams. The dreams that I've had, the ones that mattered most. And I would say it would do some good, but I know that people tend to not be as aware as they need to be. But I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. Momentai. Momentai doesn't mean give me a moment like I wish it did. It means Hakuna Matata. Don't worry. It'll work out. And it will too. It'll work out. Come hell or high water, it will work out for the better. There's always a sunrise after the darkest night. So, never forget that. But I dreamt that I was coming out of a nightclub with my sister, and I say a nightclub, I was coming out of a club, a bar, with my sister, and at the time, a mutual friend. A close friend of mine at the time, but that's past. Coming out of the club, and there's this line of people who are being corralled by the SWAT team. Police with shields and all that shit. Riot police. A little far out here, but that's alright. They're being corralled, and, so to speak. And this line of people are pushing. And they're chanting sort of weakly and sparsely, push back, push back. And we join the line, and I'm very strong. The center is being helmed by these two young women who are digging in, but they're failing. And if the center breaks, then that gives them the line that they need, or that gives them the chink in the armor that they need to get through. So, naturally, I go to the weakest point in the line, these two small women who cannot fucking hold up against trained police. But I go to their spot in the line, and I'm pushing with every fucking thing that I've got. My sister goes to one end to help some gentlemen push because they're the bulk of the force, but she supplements. The mutual friend goes and he pushes on an end that could use some help, but they're not doing too terrible. And I use every bit of my anger and fury and I push to help these girls. And we start to genuinely push back. And I start to chant in unison. I get them to chant ringleader style, push back, push back, push back. And as I chant, I dig in and I push. Every push, dig, back, push, push, dig, back, push. And it goes like that with rhythm. And they join in. And as one, we push and we begin to overpower. And this big guy breaks free from where he's pushing at. And as that part of the line starts to falter, he comes to my spot and reaches over the people that are pushing back against us, against the cops that we're overwhelming, and hits me with his shield and knocks me the fuck out. Like, we're talking, he cracks me in the head with the thing and immediate blood, and I pass out. And as we begin to overwhelm them, we overwhelm them enough to where they have to retreat, and we overwhelm them and take control of the situation. But in the time of that happening, things happen, and I am moved. I'm unconscious, and I'm moved by the group to what we have in town, a convention center. At the convention center, that's where they've got me stashed away in a side room or a back room somewhere. And it was, an event was going on whenever this happened. So there are some celebrities that are there. And one of the celebrities in question, he's there. He's actually part of a group that's getting together and they're about to leave. I come out of the room and he's standing there, and he informs me real quick of what's going on as I'm drinking some water and getting awoken. I'm getting brought back to life, so to speak. He's filling me in, I'm hearing it, I'm listening, and the police were losing ground, the National Guard couldn't hold, so they brought in the UN. And they had Germans and a few other nationalities gathering up people. More Germans were dispatched to our area than anyone else. And because of that, we're digging in. He's leaving, and he offers for me to go with him. We walk to the back of the convention center, and that's where, down this ramp that wasn't used anymore, down this ramp, there's a boat at the end of it. It's tethered to it. It's a little boat that can go down the river unnoticed and, sight unseen. And he's offering for me to go with them. I turn it down because I have people there that I love, that I've got to protect, that I've got to free them. I've got to get them. I have to. That's what I feel. So I go to where it is that I know all my stuff is at. I arm up, and I'm going to try and find survivors, holdouts, anyone that I can, any resistance that I can. And along the way, I'm seeing all this evidence of actual combat, actual armed combat. And I'm seeing destruction. I'm seeing buildings that have burned. I'm seeing craters in the ground where impromptu bombs were detonated, or even military bombs were detonated, like grenades, shit like that. I'm seeing damage, explosions. And I'm making my way to a gathering point at a local high school, at the high school in the center of town. I'm going there. And they've got these people gathered together in the gymnasium at the high school. And I'm on the outside, and special forces, UN special forces, show up. There's like 4 to 6 of them. And I do some damage, but they quickly overwhelm me. Like, they've been ordered to not kill, to just start gathering people. They've got to gather us all up. They need us taken, and I'll fight back, but they overwhelm me. despite all my strength, they fight back. And it's something where they get us in the gymnasium. Some of the other celebrities that were at the convention got taken. Some of the ones that wanted to go and fight, them, and plus I see a lot of people there, but celebrities plus random civilians, as well as even some law enforcement, if I'm not mistaken. They're on the bleachers in the gymnasium, and we're being gathered up. We're being taken to this place, and they've turned it into an impromptu facility where they're microchipping us to keep tabs on us, GPS track us like human traffickers use, and which that makes sense that they would have experience with that, but they're microchipping us, and they're about to microchip me, but some people break line. They're getting close to my location on the line. Some people try to fight back, and the UN guys, they shoot them. They cold-blooded shoot them, and they threaten the rest of us. They're going down the line, and as a celebrity that actually played a character that meant a lot to me whenever I was a kid, he's there, and in the dream he starts to fight back, but he's ordered to come down and to relieve, to give up, to forfeit, whatever. And his daughter is there next to him, and she's bawling her eyes out. And some people that I knew were in the bleachers trying to console her. He comes down, he's walking down, and when he gets down, he's getting low. He looks me dead in the eyes from where he's at, points at me, and when he does so, I feel wings wrap around me. Like big wings, like you could say angelic wings even. Keep in mind, I didn't believe in God at the time. I don't consider God to be on my side at this point in my life, and I'm not interested. I'm going to fight back as much as I can, as much as is needed. I'll do everything in my power to make the reality that I need to see happen. And it's just one of those things where I feel this weird sense of protection, and he doesn't make it to me. The microchip guy doesn't. But there's this pushback from people suddenly, because seeing them kill someone who just tried to break the line, they killed him. Okay, well now it's life or death. They're corralling us. It's either we fight back or we die. And the decision was to fight back. So they fight back. The second he gets to the bottom of the steps, they fight back. He dies, she bawls. I stand up. I'm on my feet, and the bindings, they're breakable. And as I begin to break them, that's when the dream ends. So that's the kind of dream that I had there. It's crazy shit, but it's just that's my prediction. Review the video and look and see if you've seen anything like that yourself, or if you've had any dreams that are like that. Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. I don't care. Love you just for being here if you made it this far in the video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to be covering a lot more stuff like this just because I can. I like to talk about dreams, and I like to talk about conspiracies, so we'll see if I can do anything like that. Anyway, we'll fuck around and find out what we can. Otherwise, I'm not in the mood. I'm going to head out, and be sure to hit that bell icon for notifications whenever I upload in the future if you haven't. Yeah, tell me about some of your dreams down below. Let me know what's up, and I'll see if I can help you figure them out if you don't know, if you have no idea. I do tend to dream read. I don't just tarot read, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, if you'd like to support me, you can do so via CashApp, # discount Walter White, all one word. I do accept Bitcoin. You can toss coin to your Walter. We'll see what we can do with this song and dance. Hopefully we can make it more fun than anything else. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com / The Blue Skies Mix, if you want to support me on there. One of these billion years from now, I'll set up a tier list. We'll see how that goes. But for now, if you want to support me, you can do so through those means. I love you. Be good. Make good choices. Don't settle for less because you're fucking worth it. You're awesome. I adore you. And please don't get lost in the mix.